me okay? Type a 7 in the chat if you can hear me, so that I know. 777. Love it. Can you check chat while I talk? Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will, Steph. Sorry. 7. Good. All right then. So we'll just get started. Thank you all for jumping on the call today. Really appreciate your time. So the hope for this webinar. Sorry, my camera is a bit busted. I will turn it on in a second, but I have to log in through my phone. So the hope for this webinar really was just to help you guys and support you in this new journey that you're on, because learning Tradingview can take a long time. It took me literally about a month to even understand what I was doing. So I'm really grateful to Steph for being able to jump on this call for us and really provide that value, that mentorship and that training. So again, thank you, Steph. Steph is someone that I've met through this opportunity, and she's turned into a very dear friend of mine. She mentors me, coaches me, and helps me throughout. So if you are excited to be learning how to use Tradingview, please drop me some ones and tell me you're excited. Fire it up. I want to see the chat box light up. I'm hella ghetto as well. Sorry, guys. My bad. No, I need more fire than that. That's dry ones. I want more ones, more hella gas. Yes, Leanne, drop me some fire emojis. What is this? Steffi's on the call, guys. Come on. Bare gas. Yes, love it. Energy, energy. Make sure you have your notes. Make sure you have your books and pens. Who typed all them ones? I love it. All right, guys. So make sure you have your books and pens, because I promise you, what you learn today will make your account grow, because you'll be able to, I'm just not even going to talk too much, Steph. When you're ready.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm so hyped that we have so many people on, and appreciate all the hype up, and I appreciate your warm welcome, Wafa. I'm definitely grateful that our paths crossed through this opportunity. This is one thing that I'm grateful for, this whole opportunity, is just the people you meet. There she is.
My phone is so temperamental, like you have to bear with me. I'll come in and out of this.
It's all good. It's all good. So as Wafa said, I'm going to do a little training today on basically how to set up your Tradingview, just to like how it looks when you freshly, open it up, create an account, how you can, change the look of it, how you use, the different tools, show you a few tricks. And at the end of it, like write your questions down or drop them in the chat. Wafa's going to check the chat, or just, wait until I'm done. And then I'm going to open the floor for questions, because I want to make sure that you get out of this call, having all your questions answered, and you're ready to dive in and to really, really use Tradingview. All right. I hope y'all ready. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Wafa, can you let me know if you see the screen?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, awesome. So I already created a complete new account, so I can really like guide you through it. So where do you start? Open a website, tradingview.com, and just create a free account. Okay, you can literally start with a free account. Me personally, I'm using the pro account just because of a few things that I'm allowed to do on there that I can't do on the free, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. So this is how it looks when you open it up, when you made your account and everything. And the first thing you do is basically you click over here on chart. Ding, 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 ding. Just wait a second. And it's gonna look like this. I remember when I first opened it up 2 years ago, this looked hella weird to me personally. And that's the cool thing about Tradingview. You can make it look the way you prefer. Okay, so just the overall interface. On the left side, you have all the drawing tools. Okay, on the top, you have time frames, indicators, save your charts, screenshots, and everything. And on the right, you have your watch list, you have your alerts, and a few other things. I'm not gonna go too deep into all these other things. I'm gonna just go into the important stuff, okay? And I put some notes down what I want to go over because I want to make sure I'm not going to forget anything. So if I look down, that's what I'm doing. So first thing, I'm going to show you the settings a little bit and how you can get rid of the stuff that you don't need and just make it look a little bit nicer. Okay. So all you do, you just go into the screen, into the chart, and just do a right click and you go to settings. Okay. This is what you get. So the first one is symbol. It's basically, it allows you to change the color of your candles. Okay. Some people, just keep it on green and red. I've seen people have it in blue and yellow. I have my whole screen, the background is black, and I have my candles in, I think in green and red. I have to look. So you literally can like do that however you prefer, however it looks nicer, like to your eyes. I know I've changed my look a few times over the past years because your preference just changed, right? So what you do is just, you can go in here, you can change colors. You have a little plus sign here. If you click on that, you can even, play around with even more colors. So you can get a little bit creative, okay? And you can, decide, okay, like for the bodies, for the borders, for the wicks, if you always want to have the same colors, or if you, want to have that a little bit different. Okay. And let me move this over here. The next one, a status line. So this is everything that's set. It's up here, basically. All right, let me move it back. You have the symbol, like if I check it out, you see how over here where it says Apple, it disappears, right? So this is something I would always leave. The OHLC values is the open, the high, the low, and the close. Me personally, I don't have it. It's like all these numbers here. I don't need that on my chart, but that's literally whatever you prefer, okay? Same with the bar change value. I don't really look at that, so I have that taken off. The indicator titles, if you use indicators, I would leave it in there because it shows your indicators right here, and you can still hide them later. I'm gonna show you that. Same, indicator value, you can take that off or leave it on, okay? And yeah, that's the most important. Then we go to scales. Okay, whoops. This right here, I would always leave. Okay, symbol last value. Okay, what does that mean? It's right over here. You see you have that green line, which is current price, okay, where the price currently is. And you have the countdown time, and above you have literally the current price. So if you take this off, you're not gonna see the exact price where it is. So I would always leave this on, okay? The same with countdown to bar close. This is the time that it shows you. To me, that's important because it shows me, let's say I'm on a 4-hour chart, it literally shows me when is that 4-hour candle gonna be closing, right? Works on every time frame. So I would definitely leave that. One thing I say is with the settings, just play around. Just play around what you like, what you don't like, and everything. And next one is appearance, right? So you can play around with the background. So for me personally, I don't like this grid in the background. I don't, okay? So all you do is, if you want to take it off, you go to vertical and horizontal grid lines and just put the opacity down to 0. And you see how the lines disappear. I like this way more. So then with the background, you can change the background to whatever color you want. My personal trading, what I have it in black because I have my whole look, like I have it in black mode and dark mode. I'm gonna show you that too, how you can change that. So because I have my whole trading view in dark mode, I have the background of the chart also in dark, okay? Same thing, you can just play around a little bit. Okay, how do you want to have your crosshair looking, like this little thing right here? Just play around with it. Then go to trading. I would take, you see this little thing right here where it says sell and buy. Most of us are not trading inside of Tradingview. We use it to mark up our charts, right? But then we actually place our trades in MT4. So get rid of this. Oh, where is it? There it is. Show buy and sell patterns. Sorry. So this, like all this trading stuff, you don't need. Okay. Show executions. You don't need that because you don't actually trade in it unless you use a broker that is connected to Tradingview. like FXCM, Wanda, but me personally, I don't know anybody doing that, okay? And then down here, events, all this stuff down here, it shows you, you know, news events happening, you know, you see economic events. For me, it's just too much. So I have those little buttons off. So I'm gonna just click OK. And then I also wanna get rid of this. You can just click on it and delete it. Just click delete, you can get rid of it. I like this way more, okay? Someone is drawing on the screen. Let me see how I can. All right, please don't draw on the screen, thank you. All right, so that's just for the look. Another thing, just because I just mentioned it, if you again do right click, you go to color theme, you see you have light and dark. Okay, right now I have light. I can switch it to dark. But you see I would have to do the whole settings again, so I'm not gonna do that right now. And also one thing I wanna say real quick, let me go back to settings. Let's say you have set everything how you want it, the colors and all of that, right? What you can do is, and I'm gonna talk more about this later on because we can use it for different things. Right here where it says template, you can save it as your template, okay? Just in case that, you know, maybe something changes or you wanna adjust it, but you wanna keep it just in case, you can just click save as and give it a theme name and then save it. And then also under color theme, you would find it right here. The template would be right here and you can always access it, okay? So let's go up here. So right here is a search field. You can literally type in any pair you want, Euro USD, for example, okay? When I type it in, it should be set on all, okay? When you see they're different, you know, you have stocks, you have futures, Forex, all of that. I always leave it on all, okay? Then you see, it shows you the pair in like different brokers. One thing I recommend is test out the different brokers to see which broker is closest to the one you're actually using on your MT4, because there are going to be slight differences because every broker has a slight difference in price. For me, for example, I use Yugosway and I found out that FXCM, the FXCM charts are the ones that are closest to my Yugosway charts. So those are the ones I use, okay? So you type in the pair and you just click on it and the chart loads, okay? So now, let's say you want to switch to GBP USD, right? To me, it would get tiring to always like type in the pair every time I want to switch a pair, all right? For that, to avoid that, you actually have a watch list over here, okay? You see a few pairs are already saved in here. I'm gonna just take them off just for, you know, to be able to show you guys. So what you can do, so there are two ways to actually put a pair into the watch list. So let's say I have GBP USD open right now. I can do a right click on the chart and then click add to watch list. Boom, you see how it appears over here, okay? Same thing, Euro USD, I'm gonna do that again. Right click, add to watch list, boom. Now I can just easily switch between the charts. It just saves time, okay? The second way to add a pair to the watch list is to just do it right in the watch list. Right here where it says add symbol, let's say I'm gonna do AUD USD, same thing. You have the drop down opening, you choose which one you want, you click on it, boom, it's right there, okay? So now whatever pairs you wanna use for trading, you can easily switch between them without always like having to type in the name and everything. To me, it's just a time saver. Okay, and I love doing that, you know, in general on TradingView. There's simple things like saving stuff as your favorites. I'm gonna show you that as well to just, you know, be more efficient with your time, right? So next to the search field, you see where it says the D. Those are actually your time frames, okay? When you click on it, all the different time frames are opening, okay? You can see you can switch between the 15-minute, you can go to the 4-hour. So, and here, first example of favorites. Why should I always click on this and just have the drop down and then just, you know, look for my time frame? I can save the time frames I mostly use as my favorites, okay? So you see right now, it only says 4-hour up here, right? So let's say I want to have the 4 hours my favorite. You see when I have my cursor over it, there's a little star and it says add to favorite. So I click on that star. So now I also want to use the 1 hour. So I click on the star here. I want to use the 30-minute and I want to use the 50-minute as an example, right? So now when I go away, now I have all the time frames up here and I can just quickly switch between the time frames. Okay. As I said, once again, it's just time efficient. Okay. Next to it, you have the little candlesticks. Here you're able to switch between the different, styles of, how you want to have your chart looking. If you want to have a line chart, if you have a candlestick chart, if you want to use Heikin-Ashi candles. I'm not going to go into the detail of the different styles. I'm going to just show you how you can change it. And then same thing here again, you can save them as your favorites so you can like fastly switch between them, right? So for example, a lot of people use the line chart to mark up support resistance, right? Easier. So put your line chart as your favorite and put your candles as your favorite, okay? Boom, I have both next to each other and I can switch between them, okay? So next thing is compare and add symbol. I never really use this one, so I would just say play around with it. I literally, in the 2 years I've been using Tradingview, I've never used this. So just play around with it. The next one is most important. It's your indicators. Okay, if you click on it, you can search for indicators you want to use. Okay, you see you have the built-in ones, and you have a whole list in here, but of course it would take a while. So let's, just type in the search field. Let's say you want to use the MACD. Okay, I'm gonna type in MACD right there. So now if I just click on it, it will add the indicator on the chart, but you can also, you see again, click on the star, add it to your favorites. Okay, now you see there's a new tab here. It says favorites. When I click in here, I see I have the MACD. Okay, let's say Bollinger Bands. Click on the star. Then a lot of people use moving averages, for example. You have the moving average and the moving average exponential. You can just star them. Now if I go to the favorites, I have them all in here, okay? So now let's say I wanna add I'm gonna use the moving average. I'm gonna just click on it. And boom, you see it appear right here under the name of the pair. Okay, it says EMA. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it in there to show you how to edit that as well. So I'm gonna go there right there. You have the indicator. You have a little eye symbol. Okay, it just means I can hide it. If I click on it, you see the line that is right here. It disappeared. If I click again, the line is back. Okay, I click on the little wheel for the settings. I can change the settings. That depends, of course, what strategy you use, what the settings are. Like everybody use different, EMAs settings. You can, change the colors and all of that. All right. And then if you want to get rid of it, you just click on the X and then it's gone. Okay. So next one. I've never really used this one, so I'm not going to go into that. Indicator templates. I think that's important. So let's say you have 2 different styles you like to trade. Okay, you have one strategy where you use EMAs, like only EMAs, and then you have another strategy where let's say you have the Bollinger Bands and the MACD, just for example, right? And you don't want to like delete it, add them all on, and all of that. So what you can do is I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna add the moving average. Just for example, I'm gonna add 2 of them. Okay. And I'll go in here and I'm gonna just change it just so we see the difference. So what you can do now is on this right here, you can actually save the template. Okay, some people will know that, from the Gold Live session when some of the educators, let's say on the harmonic scanner or in Gold Cup, talk about, set it up the way it needs to be set up and then save the template, right? So you just click on here and right here it says save indicator template. I'm gonna just save it as EMA. Test. I can save it. Now let's delete this and I'm gonna add the other indicator just to show you how this works. I'm not gonna change the settings on those. This just to show you guys. I'm gonna go in here, save indicator, and I'm gonna call it Bollinger Bands. Okay, See, I can only do one. I didn't remember that. I apologize for that. So that's the thing, like on the free version, there's a lot of things, you know, that you can do. And I think in the beginning, that's all you need is the free version. If you feel like it hinders you or whatever, you can always try a test version, like a test pro account, a trial basically, and just test it out what you prefer. But I'm just going to explain it further. So what you literally can do, their default templates, I'm just going to show it on this. Let me delete this. So I can come in here, I can click on the one I just saved. And now let's say I need to switch to my other one. I'm going to just click on this one. And boom, it switches. Without me having to delete and add like all the time, you can just easily switch back and forth. Okay. I'll just go back. This right here is a create alert tab. I'm going to show you, I literally never use this up here because there are other ways to create alerts. And I'm going to show you that a little bit later. This right here is a replay button, which is not working in the free version. It does in a pro version. And it literally gives you the option, like when you click on it, I think it doesn't work. Or maybe it does. Let's see. So it gives you this little line. I'm gonna test it out if it works. And I can just say, I wanna click over here. Yeah, see it only on the intraday. So what that basically does is like, it gives me that red line you just saw. And let's say I wanna back test, I go back in time and I just, let's say I click right here. It would erase everything on the right and I have a play button. I can literally replay what the market was doing. A good tool to use for back testing, okay? Then you already saw I was using it, this little, you know, arrows here to go back and forth. Let me get rid of this. So now also because I scroll to the side, I can show you another little trick. So when you hover over the screen and you go down here, you see these little buttons that appear, right? Which allow you to zoom out, zoom in, go to the left, go to right. But now let's say you scroll all the way to the left and you want to go back to the current price to the beginning. You don't want to scroll all the way back. All you can do is just click on that little button here that says reset chart. Click on it and boom, it brings you back. Okay. So if I'm going too fast, I'm recording this so you can always go and rewatch it. Okay. Then right next to it, you have this little where it says unnamed. Okay. This is basically your chart layout. If you click on it, I always recommend you guys have the autosave on. Because let's say you do something and your laptop crashes or whatever, like you have marked up a chart and something happens, like your battery dies or whatever, and you don't have this on, your chart is not saved and you literally have to start over. So I highly recommend have this on autosave, okay? And then also what you can do is when you see like now in this little cloud, you see this check mark, which means the chart is safe. Whatever you just did, it's saved, right? So when you see there's no check mark in there, okay, either you have to wait 2 minutes or you just click on it, okay? I'm gonna just do something. Just to show you guys, I'm gonna just do whatever. So you see now the little thing is gone, the little check mark. I can click on it and now my chart is saved. Okay, highly, highly recommend that. Then also you have the settings tool, like you can just click up here instead of the right click. And then one of the most important things is this little camera button, okay? When you wanna share what you marked up with your team, with whoever, use this little symbol. What it does is it literally takes a screenshot of whatever you were just doing. Okay, I'm gonna just click it. And it either you can save it as an image or it gives you a URL. Okay, let's say I'm gonna copy this and now I'm gonna send it to whoever. That person clicks on it and they're gonna see a screenshot. Okay, that's the best way to actually share your markups with someone. When you want someone to, you know, look at it and give you feedback, or if you have an amazing setup, it was like, yo, look at this is a dope trade idea, okay? Use this camera symbol. Highly, highly recommend it, okay? Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so watch lists I already went over. Under the watch list, you have the alerts. I'm gonna show you how to set them, but when you set them, you're gonna see them in here, okay? And then I would say I'm gonna go over to the actual tools over here, okay, to mark it up. All right, so First thing is the crosshair that I have. You can change that up. You have the little, symbol here on the side. You can click on it and it opens a sub menu, and you can switch from crosshair to arrow, to just have the arrow. I prefer the crosshair because wherever I am in the chart, like you see on the right, it shows me like what price I'm actually at. And at the bottom, it shows you what date and what time I'm at. Okay. Which, before I continue with the tools, reminds me of something. Right here, where you see the time, you can actually change the time to your time zone. This is one thing that when I started with Tradingview, I love, because when you have MT4 on your computer, you cannot change the time zone of the chart you're looking in, because it's gonna have the time zone of your broker, okay? Which is, you always have to, calculate when let's say you wanna look at, specific candles just in one of the sessions, like in London session, like you always have to calculate, right? So here you can actually click on it and you can find your time zone, okay? So for me, I will go to Berlin because I'm actually in Germany, okay? So I will click on Berlin. Now it shows my actual time, okay? So that means now if I'm like on a candle and look to the downside, it will show the candle like in my time zone. Okay. One more thing before I go to the tools. When you zoom into a chart and let's say you want to make it even a bit bigger, drag it out. I know Waffle, for example, loves doing that. Okay. What you can do is like here on the side, on the menu, you see this, when I go over it, you see this little arrow. So what you can do is you can literally drag it up or down to make it small or big. Okay, and now when you do that, you can actually click on the chart and move it around. Normally you can't do that, right? So now let's say you want to go back to the regular, like how it normally looks. Okay, there are two ways to do that. Either the reset the chart or activate the auto button right here. Okay, the auto scale. I click on it, everything is back to normal. And now you see I cannot move the chart up and down. I can only move it to left and right. Okay, so that's just that. Down here, I think the most important thing down here is text notes, because you can actually leave yourself notes in here. Let's say your trading strategies, or what I did when I started trading harmonics, I literally put all the levels for the harmonics in here so that whenever I'm on my Tradingview, I can look at those notes and I have them always there, okay? Because the beauty of Tradingview is you can literally log in from everywhere and you see your markups. Okay, that's also a big difference to MT4 when you have it on your computer. And let's say you at your friend's house and want to use their computer, you won't be able to look at your charts on your MT4. Okay, with Tradingview, you can just go online, log in with your account, and you're gonna see your markups. So wherever you are, you can always log in. I love that. So now let's get to the tools. All right, so we were here. So the next one are different trend line tools. You see you have a regular trend line, horizontal lines, horizontal rays, so trend line, for example, is what the name says. A regular line, you can drag however you want it for a trend. Okay. Horizontal line says it, you just place it, you have a horizontal line. You can use that for support resistance, for example. Okay. Horizontal ray, I use, for example, when I want to mark an area, okay, that's where I look at for my entry, for example, okay? It looks something like this. Okay, so now you see that doesn't really look good because all have the same color, right? So every time I place a drawing tool, this little menu pops up, this right here, and you can toggle it around, you can move it wherever you want, and it allows you to change the look of every drawing tool, okay? So you either have the settings where you have it a bit more detailed, okay? You have the style, text, coordinates, all of that. Or you can just do it here. You can change the color. Let's say I want to put it to green. You can change the thickness of the line. Do I want to have it a straight line? Do I want to have a dotted line? And this is what I'm going to show you in a second, the alert, right? You can clone and copy it. You can lock it. What that just means is, let's say you have different lines for, your 4-hour support resistance, your 1-hour support resistance, for example, and you move around on the chart and then you accidentally click on a line and you change it, you move it. You don't want that to happen, especially, let's say you look on Tradingview on your phone and you just, with your finger, and you just move the line by accident. If you click on lock, I cannot move this line. Okay, so if I take it off, now I can move it around. Okay, so I don't like the dotted line. So I'm going to show you on here an option on how to set an alert. There are two ways. So first off, as I said, you have this little alert button right here. You can click on that. That's one option. Or you can right click on it and also put add alert. Okay, there are two ways to do that. So that's the cool thing. On most of the drawing tools, you can actually set an alert on the actual drawing tool. Okay, to me that was powerful. So let's say you like to do break and retest of support resistance, okay, or of your trend line, and you sit there and you wait for it to happen. You can actually set an alert so that Tradingview alerts you whenever that happens, whatever you're waiting on. Okay. Side notice, on the free version, you have, if I remember correctly, 5 alerts you can use. That's the maximum. On the pro version, it's 10. And then higher up, you have more alerts, of course. So let's say I'm gonna open this. It will open a whole new window. And there's some cool things that I learned about this tool just last year. Okay, so you see the pair that it's on. We want it to cross. So basically, I want to get alerted when price crosses this horizontal ray. Okay, you see it says AUD crossing horizontal ray. Okay, then you have options. You have only once, which means if price just touches it very slightly, you're going to get an alert. Okay, that's what I used for a very long time until someone showed me there's actually another way to do it, a better way, which is once per bar close. Okay, what that means is I want to get alerted when the bar closes. Let's say I'm let's say on the trend line, I want to get alerted, when it breaks to the downside. That means I get the alert once the candle closes past the trend line. Okay, because a lot of times, it just wicks it and then it continues in the other direction. And I just got an alert, but I can't do anything with it, right? I hope that makes sense. So instead, I click on once per bar close, and then I get an alert when price actually closes below, the line or whatever it is that I've drawn, okay? Then you can set an expiration time. You can set the alert, like where do you want to get alerted on the app? You want to have a pop-up, you want to get it via email. And you can also put like a message. I never really do that, but it's possible, okay? So this is a way to set an alert. So if I set it, let's say I'm gonna just randomly just create an alert. Okay, now you see this little clock. This symbolizes that there's an alert set. And now if I click on the clock over here, my alert is shown right here. I can pause it, I can edit it, I can delete it. Okay, so I'm gonna just delete this. So let me get back here. You say you have a few like different drawing tools here. I just recommend just play around with it, get a little bit used to it. Parallel channel, for example, if you have, a channel creating, I love this tool, vertical line. So, and the same thing as you see right here, you have, again, add favorites, okay? This is pretty cool if you have like certain tools you use all the time. And let's say you don't want to go, let's say use a parallel channel. You don't want to always click here, go down here and just, choose it. What you can do is you just click on the favorites and you see this little pop-up happen, right? So now let's say I also always use the trend line. I use the horizontal ray. Let's start with this. You see, they just pop up right here. And same thing, I can just toggle this around and move it wherever I want to. And now if I want to use it, I can just click on here, boom. I can just click on here, boom, without having to go to the submenu. I know I'm just randomly drawing, but I just want to show you guys. Okay. Next one is the main thing that I use right here is the fib retracements because I trade harmonics. So I haven't really used all the other stuff that is in here, but you see there's a lot to choose from. Okay. Next one is something that I also use all the time. So I would highlight this as well, the rectangle, the ellipse. For example, if someone trades the teacup strategy right here, the arc is literally what you can use for a teacup, okay? And you see, right, boom, it's right there, Okay, so for example, I use a rectangle to draw my support resistance, just because support resistance is always a zone. It's not just a straight line. Okay, same thing. You see, I drawed it, and I have this little, sub menu open where I can change the settings, the colors, the thickness of the lines, and all of that. Okay, so now one thing that helps me very much. Again, I love efficiency, being faster, saving time. So what you can do is, let's say you have, I'm gonna show it with I'm gonna just show it with this because that's what I always use. Okay, I'm gonna just put 2 lines. So let's say I'm gonna put this red, have this in green. So let's say I wanna have a horizontal ray for my entry. I'm gonna use my entry. I'm gonna do that in black. My entry, my take profit, and my stop loss, for example, right? And you can do that with, trend lines. You can do that with, the rectangles I just showed. It works for everything. So what you literally can do is, let's say, one thing, you can also double click on it and the menu opens. Also one thing. So let's say my line is black. I have the option to add a text. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna write entry. Okay. So now what you're able to do is, let me do this on the right side. Now you see it right here. You can change if you want to have it at the top or the bottom, thick, color, size, whatever. So now what you can do is you go to template, click on save as, we call this entry, right here, boom. So now let's say I have this green line, but I wanted this to be an entry line. What I can do is I can click on this symbol here on the far left. It shows me the templates. If I click on entry, it's going to change this to entry. Okay. So now let's say I want this to be my take profit though. So I'm going to change the text to TP. I can again go to template, save as, boom, right? Same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to do this as my stop loss. Save template, stop loss. You have to do it once, of course, but in the long run, it's going to save you time with specific things you use all the time. If you have, let's say, I know my mentor Ray, for example, he used a color coding for his zones, for his support resistance on different time frames. Like his 4-hour support resistance has one color, 1-hour support resistance has one color, and so on and on. Okay. So instead of placing the line and every time changing the settings, you can save it as a template and you can just fastly switch back and forth. Okay. So I'll have this. So now I'm gonna just delete all of these just to show you. Now I want to place another horizontal ray. Okay. The next time you use a drawing tool, it's always going to use the same color settings as the last time you used it. Okay. So you see this one is going to be red, but I want this my TP line. I can go to templates, click on TP, boom. It just saves time. You just have to do it once, but it's going to save you a lot of time. Okay, so that's just one thing. Same thing, as I said, goes for trend lines, for rectangles, and all of those. Okay, next one are different patterns. Okay, so you have the harmonic patterns. If you actually trade harmonics, right, you find the patterns in here. Let's say you trade with head and shoulders. You actually have a head and shoulders symbol in here. I'm gonna add this, right? So you can literally come in here and draw a head and shoulders. Okay, very, very cool tool. Same with, if you trade, structure, Elliott wave, you have an Elliott wave right here that you can use. So it's pretty cool. It's very, very neat, to have all these, different drawing tools. Next one I want to go into is the long and short position tool. I'm just going to go into briefly, not too long, but this literally, especially for beginners, it helped me to understand how to calculate pips, because I struggled with that in the beginning. I really did. Okay. So this literally helps you calculate pips. I love this tool. Okay. So let me just go over here. Let me move this away. So you have a long position and a short position. Long is for buys, short is for sell position. Okay, so let's say we were in this cell right here. Okay, I'm gonna just use the short position tool. And let's say I entered right here. I can place it here, right? You see the top is red, the bottom is green. Of course, you can change the colors again right here, right? So it basically means this is your stop loss area, like when you're in drawdown, and this is when you're in profit, okay? So you can double click on it or click on the settings wheel down here, right? And now I want you to watch what I'm doing here, and but also watch what's happening here, okay? So let's say your entry price is, you know, the price that it says here. Then you have your profit level and your stop level, okay? The only difference here is it's not calculated in pips, it's calculated in ticks. That just means if you have your pips, let's say 50 pips, you just have to add a 0 at the end. That's all, okay? So now let's say I wanna have, this is a pretty big one. So let's say I wanna use we just play around 500 TP, whatever. So I'm gonna just type in 500, add the 0, okay? Now when I click out of it, I want you to pay attention that this number changes and this changes, okay? I'm gonna just click out of it, boom. Literally what this tool does, now it calculated the price. Now you can go into your MT4 and you take this number and put it as your TP because you know, okay, my strategy, I wanna have, you know, 500 pip TP. Just saying, probably not, but you have a 50, even if you like, if I do 50 at a 0, boom, it's very tiny. So that's why I use 500 just to make it more visible. But it literally calculates the price for you and you don't have to sit there and try to calculate, especially in the beginning. As I said, I struggled with it and this helped me, okay? It really did because eventually you get used to it, how the numbers change and you understand it more. Same with the stop level. Let's say I wanna do a 300 pip stop loss at a 0, boom, you see how this changed. Okay, very helpful. It also shows you here where it says risk to reward ratio. It basically, this right now is a 1 to 1.67 ratio, okay, which means your profit is a bit bigger than your stop loss, which you always want to have, ideally, okay? Same thing goes with the long position tool, just of course, vice versa. I love this, especially like for beginners. I highly recommend use this, okay? Then you have a tool called price range. So you down here, you also have a ruler. So the difference between the ruler and the price ranges, the ruler, you can measure, you know, how many pips you in profit or whatever. But when you click away, like it doesn't stay there. It goes away with the price range. I can go like from top here to down here. And it calculates my pips, which in this case is 1,033 pips, okay? I can move around and this thing stays, okay? With the ruler, I can measure it, it shows the same thing, but when I move away, it goes away, okay? So if you just quickly wanna measure, use the ruler. If you want it to actually stay, use the price range, okay? Here you have a few symbols you can play around with. I'm not going to go into that too much. You have the ruler, as I said. Here you have a zoom in tool. This I use for my harmonics to make sure, you know, when I place my fibs, my Fibonacci's, I can zoom in and see, did I place it like exactly where it needs to be, like on the wick, right? So I can like click on here and let's say I want to zoom in on this wick. I can just, boom, and it zooms in. And I can do it again and zoom even further in, right? And if you click on a negative, you just zoom out again, okay? So the magnet tool just means when you have a drawing tool, you see it here, magnet mode snaps drawings placed near price bars to the closest, okay? So if I have this on, I don't really use it. Let's see if it works. Of course it doesn't right now, sorry for the fact, just play around with it. Oh, I didn't activate it. That's why I didn't. Okay, for whatever reason, it doesn't like me right now. One thing I also like is this tool right here. It says stay in drawing mode. So let's say you have multiple horizontal lines that you want to place, right? So you see, like every time I want to draw, I have to click on the drawing tool, either like over there in the menu or in my little panel, right? Every time I want to draw it, I have to click back on it, right? So what this one basically does is, if I have it activated and I use my horizontal ray, now I can just click as many times as I want without having to like always click up here. Okay. Back. Down here is again the lock. You can lock all drawing symbols. You can hide all drawing tools, and you have the little trash can, which means if I click on it, everything disappears. Very careful with this one. If you only want to erase like one of the tools, you know, either like, oops, either just click on it and delete it, or if you click on it, you have the little trash can here, and then you just delete that one drawing tool. Okay. One thing in regards to the drawing tools, I'm gonna leave those two up, is also when you do right click on the chart, right here it says object tree. Let's say you have, you know, multiple lines on there, a lot of drawings, but there are just certain things you just want to delete, or you just want to hide them for a specific time. You can click on object tree, and then right here it opens a different menu, and you see all the drawing tools that you have. Okay, so now let's say I want to hide the Elliott wave impulse. It's gone. It's still on my chart because I maybe need it later. I just hide it. I can come back in here and activate it again, or just delete it. Okay, let me look if there's anything else that I have. Oh, one more thing. Let's say I'm just gonna draw a harmonic pattern just randomly, okay? And let's say I don't wanna see that pattern when I go on the weekly, right? Because it's just in the way it looks weird, right? So what you can do is you can double click on it, or just go to the settings. And then right here, it says visibility. And you can literally choose on what time frames the drawing is gonna be shown, okay? So I can check off weeks, and boom, it's gone on the weekly. So if I now go down to the 4 hour, it's there again. Okay, so I'm just hiding it on a specific time frame, okay? Let me see, the object tree, I did color theme, how to save a template. So that's basically all the main things. I would say, Wafa, do we have questions in the chat before we open the mics, if anybody wants to ask questions?
All right, guys, Steph can't see the chat box, so if you type a question, I'll read it out for Steph. Look, I just want to tell you, everybody's mind is blown from this training. I learned a few things as well. I did not know about you change the time zone. Do you know how many times I've sat and I'm trying to figure out, was this 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago? Oh my God.
Oh, see, one thing I forgot to show, before I show this a little further, I would love for you guys, if you took pictures of something, please like tag me on Instagram.
And me.
And Wafa. Wafa, and then?
No, underscore. Wait, let me check. I think it's underscore. I don't know. Underscore Wafa.
Okay.
And then is full stop.
Is what?
The full stop.
What?
A full stop.
What is that?
Oh, like a dot? You know what you put at the end of a sentence?
Oh.
What do you call it?
Just dot.
Okay, got a dot, yeah. Faisal, Faisal.
F-A-S?
Yeah, F-A-I.
F-A-I?
S-A-L.
S-A-L.
Yeah.
Okay.
You must think I'm crazy.
So yeah, guys, I would love for you guys, if you know, took a picture or whatever, please, you know, tag me, show some love, if you find value. Also, see this tool, I forgot to show you guys, the text tool, then we're gonna come to the questions. You have different ways on doing text, and I think this is very important, okay? So what I just used was the regular text, right? So now you see when I zoom out, it's gonna, oops, right, there it is. So it kind of changes and like gets smaller, it gets bigger and whatever. So now you also have the anchor text. we're going to do this. So now wherever I scroll, you see the text stays
there. I did not know that.
The text stays right there. Okay.
Are you me? Don't worry, I'll send you the recording. Sorry.
Another one, let's say, you know, you don't want to have the text in the way of whatever you're doing. You can use the note. What that does is you just put it there. And then you only have this little symbol. And when you hover over, it actually shows you the notes that you put there. But that way you don't have like your text like in the way all the time. Okay. And then one thing I use is the call out, for example. If I want to like point, okay, at that position, this and this happened, I can do this. Okay, so those are the main ones that I use. So now I'm gonna just go to the chat and see what's in there. Ooh, 50 messages.
Okay, so someone's asking, how do you change the time zone again?
The time zone? Okay. Time zone is right up here. Okay, so when you open it up the first time, it's only going to show you one time zone, most of the times on the daily. Okay, and you have this little arrow here for the drag down menu, and you see all the different time frames. And if you don't want to like have the drop down like all the time, just like highlight this little star here at the end of it, and you will see it's going to add it up here. And now I can just move from the 5 minute to the 30 minute to the 4 hour. Okay. And then also it always shows you the time frame here. It shows it in minutes. So 240 minutes, 4 hours, you know, 30 minutes. Let's say I want to add the daily as well. So I can literally now switch between those time frames. Okay. So 1D is a day. And then some people get confused. I'm going to add the month. And I'm going to add the minute because sometimes people get confused on these. So the 1 minute, it just says 1. On the monthly, it's going to say 1M. So 1 month. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
How do you change it to, for example, you know how you changed it to Germany, Berlin? How do people change those ones as well?
This is down here.
Well, I mean me. I'm not going to lie.
So how you do that is literally down here where it says the time. You just click on it. You just click and it opens the different cities, and you just look for yours, which in your case, London. And you just click on London, and it would change it to your time.
Perfect.
Okay. One more thing I also want to show you guys. Let's say you are on let's say you're on a 30 minutes. I'm going to place a vertical line just randomly just here. Okay. And you want to look at this area on a lower time frame, right? So we already know this one candlestick is a 30 minutes. So if I go down to the 5 minute, there are way more candles there, right? So that I don't have to scroll all the time. Actually, Wafa reminded me of that because I kind of forgotten about this. And you don't want to scroll to get to that point. What you can do is either place a vertical line or just go over with your cursor, and then down here you see the time. So this one is April 22nd, 6:30, right? So now what I can do is April 22nd, 6:30. I'm gonna go to the 5 minute, right? I can go to this one right here. It says go to April 22nd, right? And then we had, 6:30. Boom, it brings me right where I wanted to go. It is right at the vertical line that I was looking at. Okay, that way you don't have to, you see like, it's gonna be a bit like, well, in this case, not much, but I don't have to like scroll to the side to do that. Okay, whoops, no, what did I do? Let me go back. All right, let's see. If anybody wants to ask a question, you can unmute yourself and just ask.
One person sent me a question privately, so I don't think they want to unmute themselves, but they said, please ask Steph how to save pairs on the watch list again.
Okay, of course. Let me delete this. There are 2 ways to do that. Okay, the easiest, in my opinion, is right over here on the watch list, and right here it says add symbol. And then let's say we want to do CAD JPY. Right here, you choose whatever broker you want to use and you click on the pair, boom, it is in your watch list. That's the first way. And the other way is up here in the search field, NZDJPY. Same thing, I'm gonna open it. Now it just opens the chart, but it's not in my watch list. So what I do is I just do a right click, add to watch list. Boom, right there. When you have the pro version, you have like also different things, like you can create a new list. Like let's say you wanna, like I know people that have a watch list for just USD pairs and just for whatever, like any other pair, all right? They have like different, guys, please stop drawing on the chart. Are we little kids? I don't think so. Where was I? Yeah, you can create different watch lists. I think it's only possible with the pro list though. You can also flag your pairs. You have this little flag here, which is useful. For example, you want to mark, like in my chart, I have marked up the pairs that have a harmonic in a specific color. Then I can do another color for the ones that are active. Okay, I'll do green for that, for example. And you can do that right here, okay? I think in the free version, yeah, you can only do it on the pro and up. I'm just showing you just briefly just to show there are like options that you can use, okay? If you have questions, unmute yourself or drop it in the chat.
I've got a little question. You know the Fibonacci? I just want to know a bit more about it and how you use it, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too crazy much into the Fibonacci because that more goes into strategies and everybody uses the Fibonacci tool differently, okay? But the Fib tool itself it has specific ratios. As I say, I'm not gonna teach it now. I'm not gonna go into that just because we have all the educators that do that, but I can just click on here, the Fib retracement. And let's say I wanna measure this retracement right here, like how far this retrace down. So I can click here at the bottom of the move, drag it to the top of the move, okay? And then I see it hit the 61.8. So to me personally, I don't like the look of the Fib tool, how it looks here, so I change it. But again, that's everybody's preferences. Okay, so how you do that on the Fib tool is actually you go to style, okay? And first off, I have mine in one color. And I take the background off. And I put my labels to the right side because I don't want to have it over the price. I actually want to have it over here. And you can add and take off different levels, okay? So for example, like I don't use this one. I use the 38.2, I use the 61.8. And then you also have the option, because right now it shows it at this, but I love to have it as percentages. So you can just switch it to percentage, 38.2%, 61.8%. So it's just different ways you can change it however you want to have it look. And, but yeah, as I say, how to really use it depends on the strategy. Okay, the way I use it for harmonics is maybe different than, you know, someone uses it for whatever. But the main thing for Fibonacci is to measure retracements or extensions, you know, of price of where it's going. And they're like major reversal zones and things like that. But as I say, I don't want to go into too much into that because this is more about how to use Tradingview in general. Okay, I hope that answers your question though.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna look. Yeah, I will get the I will give Wafa the recording. Let me see. Is there any other questions, guys?
Screen popping.
You say what?
I can see your screen popping with chat boxes.
I didn't hear.
You know when it goes blank when somebody messages you?
No.
Oh, never mind. Don't worry. I think it's just mine.
No, I don't know.
How do you see different?
How do you say different Fib settings for different strategies? The same thing. I'm gonna just pull it up. Oops. Right here, you can save templates. That's how you can do it. Same thing as I showed earlier. You can do save as and, you know, do this strategy one, whatever. And And then I do another one and I take, you know, all these out, for example, just randomly. I'll just do it randomly. Oops. Strategy 2. Okay. So now I can click on here. I can switch between those. Strategy 1, strategy 2, for example. I hope that answers it. Awesome. Okay. All right, let me see. Call is recorded. Yes. Yes, replay mode doesn't work in the free version, only in the pro one. Okay, if we don't have any other questions, do me a favor. Drop some hold on. I want to record this for Instagram. Drop some ones and some fire emojis in the chat if you saw value in this training today. Let's have that chat box fired up. Let's go. Sheesh. I love it.
You like to talk. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
What'd you say?
No, I was being careful. Okay, don't worry.
Let's go. I love it.
But yeah, thank you so much for the training, Steph. Even me that has been doing this for a year, guys, I've been using Tradingview for a year, and honestly, today I've still learned more new stuff. So even though you're on a journey and you don't ever get to a place where you're complacent in your journey, where you think you know everything. So thank you so much, Steph. Like you don't understand how much it's going to change my life by changing those candles to my time zone. Do you know how many hours I spend just trying to figure out how far back the candle was? So that's gonna change me personally. But
yeah, and I remember I also showed her like how to do the default the templates for the text and everything.
Listen, oh,
how did that help you?
Help me, babes. You've seen the trades I've been catching now, haven't you? Exactly. So thank you so much for the training. Thank you so much for the value. And for those of you guys that are asking for the recording, I will send it. Oh, my glasses are lopsided. I'll send it to whatever group chat that you found the how to enter this. So yeah, thank you for plugging in, guys.
And yeah, I appreciate everybody. I just want to say thank you guys for hopping on. It means a lot. You know, I know everybody has a lot to do. So I appreciate you guys taking out the time. I love doing trainings like these. And if you ever have any questions, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram or to Wafa. We're always here to help. Yeah. Okay. And I'm super, super grateful. I really, really am. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, day, wherever in the world you are.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you, guys. And we hope to see you guys soon.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.